Okay, so you're going to start with your picture on the screen like this, and we're going to do it a little differently than we've been doing it. So we won't duplicate the background layer this time. So I'm going to just go to Image, and then go to Canvas Size, and then click up at the top in the middle, because we're going to add canvas to the bottom, and we want the canvas extension color to be black. We want to double the size of this picture, but not stretch the picture, just double the canvas size rather. So we put 30 there, and we click, and now to add it to the bottom of the picture, we're going to hit Command and minus twice, so you get it to the right size, and you can see the bottom now is black. And we're not going to duplicate it at this point. We're going to take the quick selection tool and mark it, and then I'm going to show you an easy way to do what we were working on the other day. You see in the middle it's a plus sign. So hit Option, it changes to minus, so I'm deselecting part of it, because you know the other day we didn't have it all selected right, but it was this way. I think you'll find it to be quicker to do a double check of it. You make a mask, and then on the mask you hit Option and then click on the mask, and it'll show you the parts of it very well that aren't properly done. So now we want to paint this white, so then it will select it. If this isn't white, change it to white, and then remember you can click here and it'll change it to white and black. You can reverse this, but you want white as your foreground color. The top one's the foreground color. You hit your paintbrush and then color that in, and now the whole thing is selected. So you go over to your mask before you get rid of it, and you hit Command and click on it, and now you have your selection made. Now you don't need that anymore at this point, so delete the layer mask, right click and delete it. And now we need to make a copy of this rock, so we're going to do Control J and Control J again. So we've got two of them. Now we want to make our image at the bottom, so what we're going to do is take one of these. We can use the top one. We go to, like I did the other night, go to Edit, Transform, Flip Vertical. So now it's upside down. Hold down the Shift key, and here you're going to do the move, and you want to make sure your transform controls are on, like I mentioned. Pull it down, and then if you want to, if you don't think it's quite right, you can turn it a little down here if you want to match it up a little better, and that's just going to be to your taste. So get it where you want it, hit the selection tool, and apply just to get rid of those markers on there. And so I think, you know, that could be better. So we'll go back to it. We click the Move tool again, pull up that side a little bit. A little more like that, and you just pull it up a little closer. Maybe that's good. No right or wrong to this, it's just how you think it looks best. Okay, so then what we're going to do now is we're going to blur the rock on the bottom. So we select the rock on the bottom. You can just click on them and you select, you know, automatically select, and you'll see which one's selected by the transform tools if you have this on. And then you'll see over here that's selected. So if I click the next one, you'll see the transform tools move up there. So for this one, we want to go up like we did before to Filter, go to Blur, go to Gaussian Blur, and then you pick out what blur you want. Maybe something like that. Okay, and then probably the next thing would be to take the fill and bring down the opacity to where you think is reasonable. Now if you want to work with the gradient at this point, of course you want change this back to black and white, and then pick your gradient tool here, and we're going to make a mask. And you're going to click on the mask, and then you're going to want to click the Shift key, and then make sure your black is on top here, because that's what you want to paint with. And now you're starting to, I'm going to go step back and make sure the one on the end is collected, not the star this time, the one on the left end. And then hold your Shift key down and deduct what you want to deduct. So remember that white reveals a layer and black hides a layer. So if you want to make this more gradual, you can kind of play with this and get black as a color here to reveal more of the layer, and then just work with the opacity to decide how much you want to reveal or how much you want to. You see, it takes it away quickly if you have a higher opacity for your brush. If you lower the opacity of brush, it takes away less. And then if you think you've got too much of the rock missing, you just switch it around, and now you're going to paint more white on here and reveal more of the rock. So this way you can, I don't know how much of it you want to show, but if you do this with gradient, like I was saying the other day, you really don't have enough room to make a gradual transition at the bottom. So we were getting jammed with it. So that's why I was saying with this, you can make a manual adjustment and then just quickly adjust it to where you want it to be, and then this one you probably want to bring down the opacity more, and maybe something like that. But this is also something you can work with to your own taste. And so at that point, you want to make a final layer to use for your gradient. Drop it right under the first layer, and then go ahead and take your eyedropper, pick the color you want. You'll see the colors are changing right here. As you do this, you probably want a lighter color so it's a little more revealed, not too light, because you want to see the defined color in there. And then you're going to go back to gradient, make sure these two are checked right here, and you want to slip it from this end now over to the star, and you're going to like I was saying in the text the other day, you really don't need to make a black layer at this point because we've extended the bottom and kind of worked around that. So now you're just going to want to put the star on this blank layer here. So you can get that in there. We need to drop it one more layer, and now it's in back. Or one more section down the side here. So now it's in back, and what you might want to do then, because it's on its own layer, is stretch it around. So you click the top move tool here. Make sure your transform controls are showing. You can rotate it a little if you want. You can pull it out, and then you don't have to worry about that black background, additional black background, giving you some kind of trouble. So there you go. Now it's pretty much done. All you're going to do at this point is just mark your background that you want 2/3 of the way down the rock, and reverse it, and or inverse it, and then cut the back, and then you have your little table look. And then I would flatten this, hit the top one, hit Shift, hit the bottom one, right click, and then you're going to flatten the image. And then you go to your crop tool, make sure these are clear so it's not constrained by having something in there. And you move this up a little bit. You might want to cut off part of the rock here. You might not want to. I don't know how you want to do that. But something like that. Hit Enter.